Don't choose your venue based on your budget, but make your budget work for the vision you have for your wedding day or your wedding, whatever works. So how do you do this? 1, budget. 2, get a head count. 3, brainstorm. And 4, Google. I know that feels very simple, but 10 to 15% of your entire wedding budget goes towards your wedding venue. And if you have a plan, do your homework, crunch some numbers, and make your money work for you, then you'll be able to choose between a traditional, coastal, garden, rustic, modern, or tropical wedding celebration instead of settling for the cheapest venue 5 minutes away from your house. I feel like there's some people who've done that. But it's okay. Because in today's video, we're going to talk about these 4 steps and how they can help you book the perfect wedding venue for your budget. Hello, Bride Tribe. It is your girl, Leah Lowe from Alpha Artistry Wedding Films and Photography with another video helping you know what to expect so you won't go into debt. I might have to put that on a t-shirt for your wedding day. Because we're serious about our coins, guys. We're serious about them. We don't waste them. We read all 300 reviews for a $30 blender. Why are you paying $30 for blender? Don't worry. Anyway, speaking of not going into debt, download my free wedding videographer checklist that helps future brides like yourself make the best informed decision with their investment into a wedding videographer because, like I said time and time again, what is the point in taking this time to thoughtfully plan and fund your wedding if there isn't any memories of how this day came together? Not your only reason to invest, but should be a good bit of it. Okay, so link is in the description. Now, after a solid month post-engagement, you need to take a moment, sit down with your significant other, his family and your family, or vice versa, and figure out who is paying for what side of the family is paying for X. Take as long as you need to get that number, so then you can confidently make the decision of how many guests you will invite to your wedding. That might take a minute, I'm not gonna lie, but you have time if you take your time. So in my previous video, which I will link above, you know me, I don't know my directions, but it's up here somewhere. We talked about how a local catering company would be charging $24 per person, which could cost $3,600 if you invited the typical 150 guests. Now, let's say you are looking at the budget and see that your mom and dad are going to pay for food and are giving you $5,000 to spend, because this stuff really happens and it's really nice, but not there yet to experience, but I've heard. So inviting and feeding 150 people works for you. Now, don't go into the weeds, all right, and start listing all the names of the 150 guests you will invite. Okay, we mentally don't have time for that right now, but if you're down to have a mental breakdown, go for it. But if not, stick with me and just plan for 150 people and worry about who makes the cut. Like, truly makes the cut. We don't have time for that right now, okay? Like, it stresses me out just thinking about it myself. So now, your number is 150, and you keep this in mind when you're looking for a venue and scoping out their max capacity, which needs to be 200 or 250, so your guests don't feel like they're being herded through a cattle chute. If you don't know, I'm from Tennessee, you know now. Also, sweat, body odor, and personal space is a thing. So let's get the space open with plenty of leg room, even for me, and I'm 5 foot, because this isn't Spirit Airlines. I've never been on Spirit Airlines, but I've seen some, so I can only imagine. I've been on a tiny plane on Delta, so I can only imagine. Alright, anyway, go to Pinterest and type in these terms: traditional, coastal, garden, rustic, modern, and tropical. Just a simple traditional wedding reception ideas on Pinterest will help you have an idea of what a traditional wedding venue typically looks like, and from there you can decide the type of venue you want to search for in your area. True story. I did it. I don't even have anyone. Never mind. That's a sad story in itself. So we're just gonna leave it alone. Leave it alone. But once you have your vision for the style of your celebration, it is quite literally one Google search away. There are so many sites where venues post their space with detailed information and starting prices where you can see if it's even worth looking and booking a tour, or calling to request a quote. If they give it to you. I hope they give it to you. I really do. Because I know you're trying to be smart with this stuff. But anyway. Now, if you're feeling some type of way, which was what I was kind of leading into, about these venues being very vague with their pricing, and you don't like this ambiguity with the starting price, leaving room for the price to be more than when you called them, I hate to break it to you, but like 99.9% of wedding venues want you to call and book a tour so that you fall in love with the space. And then you will rave about the amenities, you'll read past couples' experiences, and then at the very end, you will learn about how much it is going to cost. Hoping, and they're hoping that if it is outside your budget, I hope I made emphasis that they are hoping that you will rave about all these things, you'll read about everybody's past experiences, and then you'll learn this price and see that it might be outside your budget, but you're going to pay for the space anyway because you love it so much. And unfortunately, that happens with 80% of prospecting couples. I feel like it's a higher number, but let's just say 80, okay? Couples pay for a space that they can't afford, which is a domino effect of constantly settling and asking Facebook for reasonable and affordable recommendations, which, you know, that sounds mean, but still. They no longer can afford important investments like florals, a professional wedding photographer, a professional videographer, a decent catering company, a setup and breakdown crew, because now mom and dad are doing it and her sister, or a day of coordinator, which they let their aunt do it because one time she was a project coordinator. I don't know, you know, so, but you're not a part of the 80%. You are watching this video today because you refuse to settle and you see your future wedding day as an investment and you want to make this investment worth it. You don't let your emotions have you reaching for your 3 credit cards with them. See, I'm getting all worked up. Listen, you're not reaching for those credit cards with $7,000 credit limits, you know? You don't even have a credit card because you're debt free and you're strategic with your money, okay? And maybe you don't have a couple credit cards, okay? Maybe you do have a couple of credit cards, but their credit limit is like 200. So what the heck are you gonna do with 200, you know? Buy some freaking, I don't know, your invitations? I don't know. Okay, you already have the money for your purchases. You were just using the card to keep the line open and save 5%. But you're mindful with your money, and that's all that matters. You're mindful. Dadgummit, you're mindful. And you have a backup plan. More specifically, you have 6 backup plans. Because if you fall in love with the first space, but it's out of your price range, or say it's booked, or you're on your desired wedding date, and this is me truly just getting worked up, you know, there's no big deal. Okay, because you scoped out 6 more venues just like it online that you booked a tour with throughout the month, which actually is a great segue and makes me calm down into my 6 bonus tips. Okay, all right, here they are. I promise I'll be calm and like about it. 1, visit 7 locations. 2, make notes of what's included with these venues. 3, compare all the spaces if you can. 4, ask what is the max head count or capacity if they're being fancy, you know what I mean. 5, ask if there's any restrictions because that's important. Be out by 11, you know. 6, ask if there's any fees you should be aware of, like an extra $5,000 to have the drapes hanging. That's a thing. Maybe, hopefully not 5,000 at least. But moral of this YouTube story is that if you have a plan, know exactly what you want and how you want it with a clear budget, your budget won't dictate your venue, but the other way around. Boom. You're welcome. So that's all from me and my side of YouTube. Hope this video makes searching for a venue a fun experience instead of a daunting, depressing one. If this video was helpful, adore that like button, subscribe for future helpful wedding planning videos, and if you know someone who is recently engaged, share this video with them because, you know, sharing is caring, okay? And saving them from debt and regret is a great way to get a free freaking meal. I gotta stop saying that. For real though. They might get you something else, I don't know. Might let you stay over their house. Watch their dog. For free. Because you love their dog. Anyway. If you're looking for 5 ways though to save money when booking your wedding venue, then click this video somewhere around my head. No, seriously, click that video. You really need to know, because these wedding venues ain't no joke. They're expensive out here in these streets. And we're gonna talk about it in the next video. So click it. Did my screensaver go out? Guys, I literally put on there, go off in an hour. And it's like, no, I want to save your MacBook life. We're going off in 5 seconds. Forget you. Forget you.